Hey, happy Wednesday, Scorpios. And to me, myself, and a fellow Scorpio. Woo woo! It is tea time. I'm just palo sensing the room. The cards. This phone, second backup phone. And these cards. Happy Mercury retrograde if I haven't said that yet. All the time. But I feel like something needs to be done. I'll do it myself. It is tea time. I was spilling some love tea. Yes, I did say it's Mercury retrograde. If you're not aware of it by now, I'll be shocked because Scorpios are really kind of into astrology / tarot card readings and all that kind of stuff. If you don't do tarot card readings or are an astrologist yourself even, I'd be surprised. But started Monday. I welcomed everybody else to it. So I welcome you. I'm sure you're probably aware, but there is good that can come out of Mercury retrograde, and it's not all bad. Mostly electronics, which in the last 7 years or so, well, maybe more. No, what was I? 7 years. In the last 10 to 15 years has been all in your hand, your smartphone, your life is in your hand. It's like, And so the fact that Mercury messes with communication, it's messing with your life that's in your hand and your phone. So people notice it more, I think, now more than ever, because back in the 70s and 80s, and 90s even, I was doing astrology, and you never heard me go, it's Mercury in retrograde. Everybody watch out. Things are falling apart. Things weren't falling apart, back then. Now with smartphones, things are falling apart. But there's always the usual returning of the exes that comes along every Mercury retrograde, and which could be good exes and bad exes, people that you could make a go of it if you wanted to try over again, and people that you wouldn't piss on if they were on fire. So the saying goes. A little sip of tea before I get going. Okay. I forgot to do the Crystal Heart Chakra singing bowl for Libra until the end. So I'll do it right now. A clear head in your heart. So take a deep breath. If you're not into crystal singing bowls or sound healings, they are a very good way for beginners to clear their thoughts. According to my daughter and me, but nobody listens to me. My daughter is a new beginner at meditation and has difficulty really with her thoughts, just letting them go by, or just, clearing her thoughts really. And I play this, and every time she says, "I can't hear myself think," I'm like, bingo, buckwheat, that's the plan, Well, she's 17, so just so you know. And I'm like, part of meditation is clearing your thoughts, your mind. So there are sound healings or sound baths, they may call them, or crystal singing bowls on YouTube. There's live people who do it. I know I'm in Connecticut, USA. There's people who do events where you go to the crystal sound bath in person with your yoga mat and lay down and do the meditation. And it is really cool if you want to do it on your own. I'm sure I'm talking to Scorpios. I might be talking to people who are like, oh my God, okay, get over with it, lady. But it's a great way to lie down for 30 to 45 minutes and clear your thoughts without having to really think of it. It's hard for beginners, so it's a great beginner's way of clearing your thoughts. So if you've never done it before, do Google up some YouTube some crystal singing bowls or crystal sound baths. Okay. With all that being said, I've been doing a thing this week in general with all the readings where I've been pulling an Oracle of the Fairies card So you can see that box. It's by Karen K, which I have a fairy friend who's a human fairy, and her name is actually Amy K, so I find that interesting that this lady's Karen K. Floats my boat, you know. Anyway, I've been pulling one card, and that seems to be the theme of the reading. Awesomely enough, yours is mysterious, just like you, Scorpio. Your card came up, and I got Magical Gateway. Now, here I am. Only you get to see these glasses. I'm going to read it, which I can't do without my glasses. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet, this is where the greatest rewards are. It's a time to step boldly forward without looking back. So, it looks like maybe the ball's in your court and it's time for you to make the decision in your love life, and definitely stop leaving it up. If you ever have, you're kind of a Scorpio, do you ever not take the first step? But some of us don't. I personally don't. I usually I wait for everybody else to go first, or I let, you know. In relationships, I let the guy, well, I'm into guys, so the guy go first, like, I'll hang back and make you go first. But this is a time coming up during the retrograde where it's the returning of the exes, and you may be called to step forward and make the first move, kind of to step into the unknown. So, and when it comes to deciding on deciding on dating an ex or an old spark or something, an old crush, don't make a final decision until after October 18th when the Mercury retrograde ends. Sometimes it's just heavy nostalgia, and when the energy starts to lift and dissipate, you're like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? Possibly. So you don't want to, oh shit, what did I get myself into situations. So, but we'll see if what comes up during your read. Being as a theme of the entire reading is the magical gateway, stepping into boldly something new. I'm going to assume right off the bat that you're single, and the universe is pushing you to mingle. They're asking you to step through the doorway. And it's Mercury retrograde, so I'm not going to be shocked if one of your exes shows up in the reading. Hold on. Okay. And so I'm doing like kind of the same pattern for all readings this week, so we'll see how it goes. This is the Romance Angels Oracle deck. Everyone knows it, I think. It's by Doreen Virtue, I'm pretty sure. I pull 3 of these to see if they make any sense as a topic too. Wow! I picked it up after I was done shuffling, and the only card in the deck facing the wrong way is Flirt. So they're asking, wow, your person must be on the shy side. Take the first step through the door, flirt. So this is where we're going so far. So your person's on the shy side. Retreat. Spend some time alone in retreat with this person, not retreat alone in silence. You yourself take time with this person to retreat alone, and either to reacquaintance with each other, reunite with each other, whatever it may be. Spend time alone, not necessarily in group functions, in order to make the magic happen is the advice. And the last one, love yourself first. Scorpios honestly have a bad rap, but they honestly are the first to love somebody more than themselves. They're the ones who go out on a limb and do. Like in Codependence Anonymous, like, raise your hand if you're a Scorpio. You know, I've been there actually to Codependence Anonymous. I laugh, but it's a very important skill set that I've learned to get me through my life, absolutely. It's a thing where you do put people first, and you take care of yourself last. And when that happens and you do it in reverse order like that, it screws up the entire rhythm of every relationship you've ever had, from friends to families to lovers to everything. It screws everything up. And to unlearn that pattern is the 12 steps of Codependency Anonymous. So if you do want to look into that, feel free. But this one is love yourself first. So it's saying maybe in the past, I feel like this is a past person. Again, we're going back to Mercury retrograde. All your exes are coming in, good, bad, the ugly. And putting yourself first is maybe the last time around you put their needs first and you worried about what they thought all the time, and it was all about their perspective and their perception. And maybe it's a time now that it's been a few years later and you've grown as a person, they've grown as a person. Hopefully during the time that you've been apart from this person, you have learned to put yourself first. And it sounds selfish because Scorpio is a water sign. Like, at the end of the day, it's a freaking, I love how Aquariuses think they're water signs, because they're freaking not, They're an air sign. They're so cold and detached. It's not even funny. But Scorpio gets a bad rep. They're a water sign. They're very caring, nurturing, giving, all the emotional kind of, overly emotional kinds of things that a Cancer and a Pisces are. Just they have a tough shell of I'll kick your ass, And this time around, hopefully you have learned in your years apart from whatever person will figure out who's coming in, you have learned that it's not selfish to love yourself. It appears selfish at times. It even feels selfish at times. But taking care of yourself, especially if you've had a rough childhood and your parents didn't really take good care of you, you kind of raised yourself, that kind of thing. A lot of Scorpions are in that situation for sure. But putting yourself first is so essential, and taking care of yourself first, being your own parent and making sure you're taken care of is very important for the dynamics of the relationship to work out. And then maybe the reason why this old relationship that's coming back did not work out was because you didn't know how to be self-centered-ish, to love yourself first and enough so that the relationship balanced itself out properly, So that's the advice. So far that might give you hints, but you probably overextend yourself and love everybody before yourself first. As a rule of thumb, you're just learning what loving yourself and self-care means, probably, most likely. If not, and you're a veteran at codependency and you still manage to keep forgetting to put yourself first, just a friendly reminder to put yourself first. So, I did not shuffle the shit out of these, so I'm sorry if I shuffle the shit out of my camera. If anything, it's a good thing, right? I did use these for the Libra reading. I'm feeling the holographic writer weight today. My speech has been awesome since Mercury retrograde started. I tried to sing songs and forgot the words. It's great. It's great. I can blame all that on Mercury retrograde. Maybe. Sometimes I'm retarded and I forget the words anyway. But I can pretend to blame it on it if that counts for anything. Alright, here comes some tarot cards for you, Scorpio. 3 of Cups. Knight of Swords reversed. 7 of Pentacles reversed. Knight of Pentacles reversed. Page of Swords. A lot of people. Page of Wands reversed. The Fool. The Empress. The 5 of Wands reversed. Wow. So. Oh. Okay. Well. I do feel like this is definitely a reunion with the 3 of Cups. You're single, so it's not a third party, which is often the case when you're with somebody. The 3 of Cups indicates, third party / cheating. But in your case, 3 of Cups came out first, and that's a reunion. So with more than one people from your past, and I mean way back past. I've got 2 children cards here, and I've got a teenager / 20s card here. So there might be something not family. Obviously, you're not going to date your family. This is a love reading. My work actually from 20 years ago was getting a group of us together, and we're doing a reunion in November. So that would be a place to meet an ex or an ex, crush from 20 years ago that, could possibly work out now being the right timing or something. Technically, I am single, so you do never know. But class reunions happening at the end of the year. The next couple of months we're talking. Definitely, like we're talking October, November. I'm not going much further than that. Very shortly, most likely before Mercury retrograde, to be speaking to this person. But a group of you might just get together and go out and like, I don't know, just go out to drink or out to have fun, and this is where you meet up with a person from the past. But I feel like more than one of your ex-crushes or flirtationships or ex-boyfriends, there's 3 people coming at you. 2 are from when you were young, younger years being, you know, a kid, yeah. So, I mean, some people have childhood sweetheart crushes, or every grade of school I had a crush. You know, this high school crush, high school boyfriend, college boyfriend. They're both very young, and then there's one from your 20s. If you're 16, then this person is... if you're 16 and you have an ex coming back at you, close this reading right now, because at 16, none of your exes are mature enough to handle anything, so no, don't take them back, sweetie. Okay, no, so the third one being from your 20s, if you're an average age adult. From your 20s, and it's been a while, long enough for... especially with the childhood and high school, you know, college, of the young ones, it's been enough time for them to change, you to change, the timing to be right, for all of the components of the universe making the recipe that it does to put you guys together perfectly. But you have 3 choices, and the third choice, wow. The third choice has been coming at you slowly, definitely with the Pentacles, has been coming at you slowly, so you may be aware of this one. It's definitely on your peripherals. I mean, you know who the other 2 are, but they haven't been coming at you, I feel like, in, you know, at least 5-10 years, more. Well, they're young, so 5-10 more, yeah. And the Knight of Pentacles has been coming at you very slowly recently. So they're there, and they're kind of flirty, and they're not really making themselves... Are they fucking flirting with me? Are they into me, or am I just, like, full of myself today? You know, when you're questioning, like, are they into me? Are they flirting with me? Am I crazy? No, you're not crazy. They are flirting with you. They're coming in really slow. Especially if this is someone you've dated before, I do feel as though, or you've had a crush on before, is someone from the past coming back in, and they are flirting with you, and they do have a little crush on you. That could turn into more. Do you decide to go that way? So you have more options than the rest of, well, not the rest of, but more options than the average person during Mercury retrograde, return of the exes season. I feel it's going to happen really quickly, though, when it does come together. Again, remember the rule of thumb about Mercury retrograde. You're not thinking completely straight until October 18th. You're still a little nostalgic, if that's the best way to put it, up until then. And then after that, all of a sudden, you're like, I don't know. Let me think about this. I'm not feeling the same way. So just make sure you feel the same way as when you start first getting together very quickly, and feeling, make sure that you feel that way after October 18th, so it's not just the energies of the universe making you feel that way, it's, you know, really down to earth and true. Definitely feeling a lot of X's all over the place, because Saturn, Neptune, if you're an astrologist, you know, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto are all in retrograde right now, and I know Venus and Mars are planning on going shortly in the next couple of months. I have to look into that. I should know better. But with everything being in retrograde, especially Mercury for the next 3 weeks, it's very intensified, things coming up from your past. So let me get a better look. Well, I mean, you have a choice, so just be aware that the magical gateway is mysterious, so we don't know which way you're supposed to be stepping up bravely into the future with. Let's see. Okay. Actually, one of the people, there may be four people, here we go, right? There may be four people. Someone you have children with is a very big possibility that you've been separated a while and comes back in and tries to get back together with you. So you have that choice amongst choices of people you haven't really had long relationships with, or maybe you have just a crush and it passed. So you have a real solid relationship with your baby mama or baby daddy coming back in as well. Yeah, it's just a lot of returning of the ex this season. So, but they're all in good turn. They're all of pure heart. They really are. They're coming in with pure intentions. They all mean well. They all do love you. None of them is the wrong decision. So it's a heart over head decision. Don't use your head and say, well, logically, it would make sense if I went back with baby daddy or baby mommy because it's best for the kids. Blah, blah, blah. Use your heart, because if baby daddy or baby mama isn't the one out of all the ones coming back to you that's making your heart go crazy, it won't be worth it, and you'll be resentful that you made that option when you had others, or you made that decision when you had other options. So definitely heart over head. So it's, for the first time, someone's going to tell you to think with your feelings and not your head. I mean, obviously don't be retarded and like not totally think with your head, but I mean, let your heart lead the way. Your heart will know. It'll be, your soul will be caught on fire. You don't have to think twice if you're making the right decision or not, basically. Your heart will know which one it is, which one's coming to you with the amount of, wow. Wow. People just fighting over you. Literally, wow. I don't know necessarily even knocking people's teeth out or not, but I think some of them are aware of some of them, and there's definitely competition. You've got 3 to 4 people coming at you, which is actually really great, but it is also very overwhelming. I'm starting to be caught off guard because I'm like, I'm a Scorpio. Oh my God, that many people are going to come at me in the next, I hope I make the right decision and all that kind of stuff. So make the decision with your heart. Your heart will light on fire and know the way. So, and if your head tries to talk you out of it, shh, play the singing bowl so it'll clear your thoughts. Shh. Queen of Swords in reverse. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. The Magician. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Wands, 9 of Cups in reverse. I'm just going to say it. I feel like the Queen of Swords is your mother who's been disapproving of almost every relationship you have. I feel as though also you are very well, not necessarily very well off, but you are... you're okay in the finance departments alone without a man. You're doing okay. We don't need money. So in that respect, I think what your family, especially your mother, is worried about are men who are using you for your money. So as far as the head department goes, do think about money in respect to the relationship. Especially baby mommy and baby daddy trying to get out of paying child support by moving back in together and being a family again. Do they have pure motives? Are they looking to get out of paying child support, or because they're going through financial struggles? That's a big possibility. Pay attention to the financial struggles of anyone coming at you, because I feel your mother's got a point, or your aunt or your grandmother. There's a woman in your family who's saying, you've got good money, be careful that money is not the motive to come back at you, that this person is, they're solid financially. They're financially stable. There you go. So pay attention to financial stability. They don't have to be completely rich, but as long as they're not looking to take a free ride off you, or, they need a place to live, or, that kind of a thing where it's, your heart's on fire for someone who's got their hand in your pocket, kind of thing. Your heart's on fire, and you're like, I'm making the right decision by my heart, but your head is saying, they're kind of broke and need a place to live, or they kind of maybe they want to get out of child support payments because they just lost their job, or so pay attention to finances of the people coming at you too for possibly not pure motivations. So so I take back completely. Use your heart. Your heart will know, but definitely iron out money situations up front. Don't confront it up front. So even if your heart is crying for someone who is having a hard time financially and down on their luck, it could be more of a discussion you have with them, how you're not going to finance their life, and they're going to figure out how to be financially independent even if they're in a relationship with you. It's very important for you both to be financially independent and emotionally independent, and then come together, as you'll probably hear every tarot reader on YouTube say. I do live in tarot YouTube land myself, so I do a lot of, I listen to a lot of the readings, and Rich Lopp always says that. I'll refer to him a lot because I like him a lot and I listen to him a lot. You have to be both emotionally independent and financially independent before coming together with somebody else. But they need to be the same way. They need to not be codependent and needy on you. They need to be emotionally independent and financially independent. So do use some of your brains when it comes, head over heart when it comes to, sketching out people and what their money situation is. I'm not saying, completely disregard the person who's in financial needs. Just make sure that that's not their motive. The wish card does come out, and I do feel as though the person that you do, there's one in particular that's been holding on to you for a long time, and it's almost a burden, the Ten of Wands, to continue having a crush on you. So if it doesn't work out this time for you and this one of these 3 or 4 people that are coming after you, that'll be the last time. It's too much of a burden. They're going to have to let it go forever and move on, because they haven't moved on in quite a few years. They've been stuck on you. So you got one of that situations too. Just one who's been stuck on you completely stuck on you. Inability to really have other relationships stuck on you for quite a few years, 5 to 10 years. It's a 10 of Wands, so it's closer to 10 years, and it's a burden because they can't fall in love with somebody else. They can't make a relationship with somebody else. The burden part is they're in love with you so bad, and they're too afraid to come forward. But this particularly Mercury retrograde, with all the other planets in retrograde, they finally get up the nerve. Like I was saying, it might be a shy person because they're telling you to flirt. Take the leap. You go and walk through the doorway. So that person, the shyer person, has been carrying a torch for close to 10 years, and it is a burden. If you don't get together with them, they need to release that so that they can move on, because they haven't been able to move on in this many years from you. So I'm not saying go with that shy person unless it feels right and it is right for you, but do be kind and release them properly if you're not going to go with the one that has been completely obsessively stuck on you for so long that they can't make their life won't go forward. So try to release them as gently as you can if they're not the one that you're going to choose. So that is all the advice I have for you. It's tough because I've got 4 decisions and it would take me an hour to go through every separate one of your decisions. But you're going to know who they are. And hilariously enough, you probably know who they are, as I'm talking about. We've already said baby daddy. We've already said the person who's had a crush on you obsessively for almost 10 years now, to the point that it's getting in their own way, and they're also very shy. That person. And then we're saying, we also described the person moving in slowly that's kind of in your sights right now, and you think they might be flirting with you. And then the 4th one being somebody who's from the way, way, way back. But the way, way, way back, when you were children, might also be the same person who has been stuck on you for so long they can't move forward, that you need to release. So that may be the same person. I hope that clears things up for you. This has been your reading. If you would, let me see. Please like and subscribe. I am trying to get to 1,000. I just started 1,000 subscribers, so at that point I can go live, which is goal.